Good evening everyone, welcome to the final round of the SBR F1 1998 Classic race. Final round is actually Spielberg, Austria, so a nice familiar Grand Prix track for the drivers to go around tonight. Season coming to a close, and what a great track it is for drivers to make up some places in the championship. Standings, still in with a shout of seeing a battle for the championship. Lewis Edwards leads the way on 184. Adam Piper in there in 158. So yeah, 26 point gap for Adam Piper to make up in 2 races. So it is possible, but it's going to be a tough task for him. But I'm sure it'll give it his all. So third place we have Gareth Morris on 118. So he's in a battle with Luke C, it looks like, for that third place in the championship, as Luke C's on 106. So 12 points to third place, so we could see a good battle on there. Then comes Dean Atkinson on 94. He's followed closely by Craig Thomas on 93, so there's another battle that we need to watch out for. 7th place, we have Brian Ross on 86, so he's still not out of that fight as well. So we could see 3 guys fighting for a position there, and they're all not that far off Luke C as well, so we could have a few battles going on tonight. Following them in 8th place is Ethan Graham on 70. Ethan has missed a couple of rounds, so sitting there in 8th place on 70 points. 9th we have Adam Morgan on 56. Inca Holmes, actually, he's only done a couple of rounds, and to get 56 points is, yeah, that's really good. Stu Shelton, who's had a troubled season thus far. Obviously final round he could put some of that right and try and end the season on a high. He sits there on 51 points, and bringing up the back of the standings is Rob Hogan on 23. I think Rob's just enjoyed the racing this season. Obviously a new car for him, a new championship for everyone, but Rob's just sort of enjoyed being on the grid, I think. Constructors points, that's still up for grabs actually. A couple of guys are in there. Williams lead the way on 244. Prost behind them on 212, and we've got Arrows on 184, Ferrari on 149, Stewart GP on 106, Jordan 74, and Tyrrell on 70. So yeah, a few of the guys, still some scores to be settled, but main one for the championship is yeah, 26 points. So I think I'm just going to get the point structure if I can, so we can keep an eye on it during the race and do sort of like a live standings between the pair of them. So 3 minutes to go. Oh, so it is. Looks like it'll be a little bit less. We've got 35 laps around Austria. It is quite a short track, and especially in these cars we should be seeing sort of some of the quickest lap times that we've seen this season on a decent track as well. Quite a tricky track for some of the drivers. If they haven't done any practice, they want to be getting out now on the grid, on the track, and trying to put some laps in, because qualifying is only 5 minutes and you're not going to get too many laps. So my advice would be to get out there and set as many lap times as you can. Just sort of get used to the track. Yeah, 1:14's at the moment, so if you're not out there on track now, you need to be getting out there as soon as, because we're noticing, yeah, Vulcan's just gone quickest on a 31.6. Yeah, Vulcan's been a pace setter all season really. Was known as SCLD, I think it was that as his previous one. As I say that, he just takes a little bit too much curb on the entry and just spins the car around. But yeah, he has been the pace setter. He's just done a few donuts there, maybe pre-championship victory. So point structure, so it's 25 for a win, 22 for second, 20 for third, 18 for fourth, fifth is 16 points, sixth is 14, seventh is 12, eighth is 10, ninth is 8, 10th is 7, 11th is 6, 12th is 4, 13th is 3, and 14th is 2. However, I think we've only got 8 drivers tonight, so yeah, we'll only need points from 25 down to 10 for 8th, so not too many drivers here today, but a couple of guys might want to take advantage of that if they want to be gaining points in the championship. I know Dino and Brian will be in a close battle. Qualifying starts now though, so we'll see which drivers are going to set the pace and which drivers are going to be competing in their own little battles. Let's go on board with our championship leader as he heads out on track for his qualifying session. So he heads out of the pits to do his warm-up lap. He has Frowny just in front of him for company, so not too many cars on track to worry about anyway. With only being 8 drivers, I don't think anybody should struggle with trying to get track position. If they all just back off, there's plenty of track for them to find some space on. Trying to get track position. If they all just back off, there's plenty of track. Couple of the guys are just heading around now, so I think we'll cut to the front, and it looks like Moz is going to be the first guy to set a lap time, so we'll follow Moz through the first turn as he takes a nice bit of curb there. A couple of wheels over the just onto the sausage curb, he'll get away with that, so a good first corner there from Moz. He sets off now down, or should I say up the hill into the hairpin. First gear, quick upshift to second, doesn't put too much throttle on, doesn't want to spin the car, and he stays away from the curb. Osman getting a nice little toe off Brian Ross behind. Moz just using a little bit of overtake down the straight. Nice braking downhill. Just gets the car stopped in time. Brian Ross behind actually had a better corner, he managed to clip the apex. But Moz heads off through this nice fast flowing section now. Easy to get wrong, but he carries good speed through there. Just 2 wheels over the curb will do. Chucks the front end of the car in, it responds. Great couple of corners there from Moz as he chucks the car in. So Moz crosses the line on a 14.6. On a 14.2, sorry. Brian Ross 14.9. Osman on a 14.6. So currently Moz on a 14.2. We've got Adam Piper across the line, a 13.8. Vulcan goes second on a 14.1. Luke C 15.199. So the lap times are coming in thick and fast now. Brian Ross just pulling over to let Vulcan through, it looks like. So into Holmes currently on a 14.4, using the overtake button down the hill into this very heavy braking zone, especially downhill, carries a lot of speed. Brakes just before the sign, down into second gear, manages to get the car turned, doesn't carry it over the curb. You don't want to be putting the throttle on over that curb because it will spin the car around, and you don't want to be losing time over there. But looks like Moz is going to come across the line again. Finn had a bit of a slow lap on this one. Nobody improves at the moment. Vulcan actually improves to 13.1, so he takes pole position. so far in this fight with Adam. Adam Piper just waiting for him to respond. He's actually following Vulcan around the track, so 6/10 he's got to fight to his championship rival. It looks like Vulcan's going to have to back out of this lap. Adam's on a purple lap so far. Vulcan wants to pull over because he's given Adam a tow here. Gives him a tow all the way down the straight. Maybe just trying to disrupt the rhythm. He has, he's disrupted him in the braking zone. Adam is all over the back of Vulcan here on his lap. We'll see what sort of time he's got through the second marker as we come through now. Yeah, he's a tenth up on his own time. But I don't think it's going to be good enough for pole position. Might be good enough to get him closer on the timing board. Lewis has got another penalty in front there. So say Mons on a 14.1 comes through. So Adam comes across the line, doesn't improve. See improvements from Brian here. No, Luke improves for 14.4. Don't think there's anybody left. I think that's Inca Holmes coming round at the back now. Yeah, Inca Holmes just slowing down. Frowny comes through. I don't think they're going to improve by the looks of it. They're on a slow lap in. So it's Lewis that takes the honours in qualifying. Frowny does improve to 15.7. So yeah, Lewis takes the pole position for the first race, our feature race, which is 35 laps. Let's see what the guys can do off the grid. The two guys, first and second, fighting for the championship. All the rest behind them have their own little battles to try and solve. Moz trying to cement third place in the championship, closely followed by Luke C. So them two join each other on the back road, on the second row of the grid, just waiting for the lights to go out. Engine notes are rising as they get away. Lewis does have a better start. Moz has had a really bad start, and Inca Holmes, oh, and that's Brian in the background, I think, just getting a little bit wobbly as they go to the first corner. Oh, they've both run wide. Will that give Luke a little chance to try and have a go? Adam's taking the lead, so Vulcan needs to try and respond. He's got plenty of a gap in the championship, but he doesn't want anybody else getting involved in their championship battle. Adam might try and back him up, but he has Inca Holmes and Luke C. Oh, the championship leader's round. He manages to save it, but he's dropped back into 4th place there now. So championship leader gets spun round at the top of the hill. That puts Inca Holmes and Osman have managed to get themselves up there. Inca Holmes actually going for the lead. So Vulcan slots back into 3rd place. You can see the race leader's still there, so he hasn't lost that much time. Goes a little bit wide there, but manages to recover. So Adam Piper leading the cars away, trying to take as many points as he can off Lewis. Oh, Lewis gets it wrong through there, just gets it sideways, manages to recover the car on track, but we will get a penalty. Inca Holmes gets a penalty as well. 8 cars all following each other. They're all going to be stuck in the tow from each other, so we might see a close race throughout if they can last for 35 laps. Vulcan's now on a 2nd time penalty as he closes up on Inca Holmes into the top of the hill. Osman's close enough to make a move as he gets a great exit off the top of there. He might actually have a chance to make a move. He goes to the inside. Doesn't look like he has the speed to get through there as Lewis just pulls in front of him. Inca Holmes going for the lead again. Vulcan tries to go around the outside, tries an Albon manoeuvre, doesn't quite work as Inca Holmes just manages to get ahead of him. Osman trying to sneak in there as well. These guys are all keeping in touch with the leader, so we've got 5 guys currently fighting for the lead here. Moz just bringing it up at the back, and Frowny not too far off them at the moment. Adam just gets a little bit of breathing space, but he's going to lose it all. The car in front losing the tow. As Inca Holmes goes wide, it looks like Vulcan's going to go to the inside. He does. Goes through and gets the move done. Now we can see Adam in front of him. Adam actually goes a little bit wide, and that's going to put Lewis right on the back of him now as they go up the hill. Closing right in on Adam. He might go for the manoeuvre if he's late on the brakes. Switches to the inside, the outside. Gives Adam a little bit of a push there, I think. But now Inca Holmes is right back on them. Doesn't pull the inside. Oh! Adam Morgan just goes for it. I think they banged wheels a little bit there, but the Vulcan manages to stay in second place. So they carry on. We've got a little quartet in the background as well, battling for 4th place. So Moz leads them through. You've got Osman right up his gearbox end. You've got Frowny and Luke C just at the back of them there. Frowny gets a little bit of a penalty as he comes through there. So Moz actually gains a little bit on 3rd place as the 2 front guys start to pull away. So they're going to resume their battle together. Osman gets a pretty decent exit there, so we're going to have a few battles for 3rd, but it's going to go back up to the front. The 2 championship protagonists go side by side through the first corner. Vulcan goes wide and gets a penalty, but that means he's going to have to defend at the top of the hill. Adam doesn't use any of his overtake yet. He's not putting himself in a position to overtake. He's just waiting. He wants to toe off this corner. Oh, Lewis just gets a little bit of wheel spin coming off there. Still hasn't managed to get rid of all of his penalty. So Adam can't take advantage of it. Down into this right hand corner, turn right, and oh, Lewis goes a bit wide over the curb, but he'll not be too worried about that if he keeps the car in a straight line. Inca Holmes sort of safe in 3rd place for the moment, but again we've got this gaggle of cars all chasing each other. Luke C looked like he was going for a move. He does, but he just sticks his nose in and tries to put Frowny out of shape. Frowny in turns trying to get past Osman, so we've got a couple of guys that are looking in the mirrors and trying to go forward at the same time as we come round to end lap 4. Oh, they both go wide there. The guys are going to have to be careful because there is track limits. So yeah, we see there all 3 of them get penalties for going wide at the last turn. Moz gets through the first corner safely. Inca Holmes currently a second off Adam at the moment. These guys are sort of in the 15s. Purple first sector there for Inca Holmes, so he's pushing on now. But he's also got Moz pulling in on him as well. So it looks like Vulcan's checked out for the moment. He wants his championship victory, and he might get it done in the first race if he can keep this win. Got one hand on the championship for the moment, but he's got another 30 laps to go. Just needs to keep it nice and tidy and keep pulling them 14s out, and he should get that gap up. As you say, he goes 2/10 quicker in the middle sector already, so yeah, Lewis is really pushing on now to get that gap up. It's up to 1.7 seconds at the moment. Adam's actually closest to losing that second place than he is to getting the victory, so he wants to get a move on if he can. You can see his championship leader pulling away. Just needs to up his pace a little bit, but Vulcan's pace at the moment is about a second quicker, so he can't respond for now. Just hoping that the pit stops bring something different for him as he loses a bit of time getting a bit of a sideways action going through the first corner there. Moz still there in 4th place, Osman still in 5th, Frowny still in, so it's as you were for the first few laps. Brian looks like he's dropped to the back of the pack for the moment. Moz carries on his way down the straight, chasing after Inca Holmes. Inca Holmes has actually gained on Adam here, so Inca Holmes hasn't raced all season. He's raced the last few, and he's already putting an impression. If they get another season of these cars, he might be up there for a couple of victories next season if he can get in amongst it in the sprint races. Certainly right up there with Moz and Adam at the moment around this track. might be able to put Adam under a bit of pressure if it can push up right on the back of him. 14.7 there from him. So he's nicely into the 14s. See what Adam did on that last lap. So Adam at 15.2. So yeah, he's about half a second quicker. So Inca Holmes really pushing and starting to put the pressure on Adam here. You see Vulcan gets another penalty. A few guys might actually struggle with penalties in this race. But Adam's just pulled out a little bit of a gap now. He's trying to close in on Vulcan by the looks of things, but that gap's still sort of 2 seconds. It actually goes down a bit, so it looks like Vulcan's had a little bit of a moment coming out of that corner there. But again, he has that little bit of a gap where he can afford a couple of tenths here and there. Adam actually pushes it through there and gets a fast sector. So tyres for the moment are looking alright as we come round to finish lap 7. Chucks it through there. Nice corner in there from Adam. See what this lap time is. So it's a 14.3. So he improves his best time quite a bit there. So he's now in a position where he can start putting Lewis under pressure with the times he's setting. Takes a couple of tenths out of him on that lap. So Lewis on that last lap, yeah, 15.2 from Lewis. So he just dropped off the pace on that last lap, but then sets it fastest first sector. So I think Lewis might just be having a couple of push laps and then just backing off a little bit to save the tyres, but his tyres don't look in that bad condition. Certainly the fronts don't like they're suffering as much. Oh, the rears will struggle if he keeps doing that though. Big sideways moment as he came off the corner there. Oh, we've lost Moz. So that'll give Inca Holmes plenty of breathing space in third. So Osman just was in the 15s, he's just dropped to 16.3 for now. He has Luke C maybe a couple of seconds behind him. Inca Holmes on his own now in third. Adams just lost touch with Vulcan on that last lap, who actually dips into 13 and gets another penalty. So Vulcan just showing his nose on that last lap of what sort of pace he can run at. Adam responds in the first sector. We'll see what he's like for the rest of the lap. Adam just gets a little bit twisty on the throttle there. He actually took a little bit of a second out of him so far on this lap. So I wonder if Lewis has just backed off again. Yeah, as we say, Adam comes through, sets a purple middle sector. So only got a few corners to go to see what sort of lap times we see from Adam. Definitely going to be improvement. If it isn't a fastest lap, it's definitely going to be a personal best. So we'll see if he can dip into the 13s. Gets a little bit of a front end struggle there as he turns through the corner. Comes across the line. It's a 14.4, so he's lost a little bit in that last sector. I wonder if them last couple of corners sort of dampened his time a little bit. We don't have anybody close enough to have a battle cam on for now. Everybody seems to be pretty much spaced out. The front three have got sort of an equal gap to 4th, 5th and 6th to a sort of equal spread apart, and then we've got Brian Ross, who seems to have struggled at the start of this race. He's just coming across the line now. So nobody seems to be in a battle at the moment, but if the things stay as they are, then Lewis will be taking the championship in this first race. Adam will probably cement second place now with Moz going. It doesn't give him a chance to catch up, and Luke C will probably take that third place in the championship from what I'm thinking from the championship standings. So unless Moz can get back in for this next sprint race, then Luke C will be laughing because he'll have third in the championship. You see Adam just running the car out there as he came out of the last turn. That's another 14.4, so he hasn't got the pace to match Lewis for now, but he has got some consistency about his race pace. I think Lewis has just got the one lap pace at the moment, so if Adam can just keep setting these times and get used to the car, he'll, even if Lewis takes his championship, he's got another sprint race to try and enjoy, so he can enjoy the second race. They're both coming from the back of the grid, and obviously with there only being 7 or 8 cars, then 7th or 8th place they'll start is not really starting from the back of any grid. If it was a full grid, it would be mid, you know, sort of midfield, but we'll see where they finish in this race. We've still got 24 laps of racing to go, so plenty of time for people to catch up. We actually looks like we're going to have a battle on for 4th place now, as Luke C starts to gain on Real Osman now. Closest battle we've got on tracks, 9/10 separates them for the moment. Osman a couple of 15s there as well. Luke C looks like he's really pushing. Osman looks like he's struggling a bit on tyres. Yeah, Luke C's tyres set a 14.4, so we have seen this from Luke this season. He seems to be able to dip onto the leader's pace for a couple of laps. You see Osman just gets a penalty there as he ran wide coming out the last corner. Luke dips back into a mid-15. Oh, Osman nearly loses it through the first corner, so does Luke. I think Luke got away with it more than Osman did. Pulls in behind him to try and get the top of the hill. Is Osman going to take the inside line? He doesn't. He pulls the middle of the road, squeezes them on the inside. Luke goes wide. Oh, that's unfortunate with the penalty there. He just got see-through and Osman was able to get the cut back on him there. So they carry on down the straight. Luke tries to feint the manoeuvre, goes to the inside. Osman covers that off. Luke tries to get the cut back now. He does. They both bang wheels. So Luke takes that position. Pretty rough racing from them doing these single-seater cars, but Luke gets through and they both carry on the way on track, so nobody causes an incident by going off. Osman gets a little bit wide there, maybe running in the wake of the car in front. Both drivers trying to push each other, see which one's going to make a mistake, putting each other under immense pressure as we see Osman actually peels off into the pits. Luke crosses the line on a 16.5 that last lap. Oh, nearly lost it through that first corner again. See a couple of drivers are just struggling with a few corners around this track. Back up the front, Lewis, yeah, consistently in the 13s for the last few laps. He looks like he's really starting to come into his own now as we are on lap 13. Takes a corner, nice and tight there, gets a good run out. Maybe hoping things stay this way. His rear tyres are just starting to get a little bit warm. They look like his fuel, yep, his fuel's flashing now, so he should have enough for this lap. Whether he chooses to try and save the fuel for another lap, or if he comes in this lap, another 13.6 on that last lap. He goes a little bit wide, but he should get away with that one. Carries on up the hill. Say Brian Ross has just actually gone round at the top of the hill, so he'll be looking in the mirrors as he'll be getting lapped soon. Should be okay if Lewis has to pit anyway this lap. Adam now 5.5 seconds off at the moment. Inca Holmes still sitting there in 3rd. Pretty lonely race from him so far. And then we've got Luke C in 4th, followed by Frowny. Real Osman looks like he's coming through the first corner now. So he's a little bit off, so he's made his pit stop and he should come out somewhere between Luke and Inca Holmes if he hasn't lost too much time on his outlaps. See Vulcan just pits there. Stops on his marks, the guys get to work, change his tyres, fill them with fuel. currently on 3%, so he pitted on 3% fuel, so whether he decides to bring the tank, but Adam carries on there. So Adam has quite a bit of fuel left, so if he's been saving fuel, he might have a couple of laps to go still. Pit a little bit later than these guys. See, Vulcan's actually gone onto the softs now as well, so he's decided that the super softs are too much to try and look after. Luke C looks like he's just filled up the tank as well. Frowny puts 80% in, so he's not going to get too far. I've got a yellow flag as Adam comes round. That's Brian Ross off in the gravel. Tries to rejoin, spins the car again. Adam Piper's fuel just ticks down into red now. And he thinks he's got enough more to go for one more lap, and he does. Just short shifting a little bit there to try and save a bit. So, as we see there, after the pit stop, Osman has managed to get that 4th place back when he's pitted. So Osman followed by Luke C and Frowny's closing in on them at the moment. Frowny looks like his tyres are the newest, so he looks like he's just pitted on that last lap. Luke C cuts the corner nice, doesn't run wide to get a penalty. Osman looks like he has, but Luke actually looks like he's cut the second to last corner a bit too much, and so is real Osman and Frowny behind him as well. So Inca Holmes carries on his own again. Vulcan taking a little bit of time out of Adam on them racing softs. Adam on very well used super softs. So I think Adam might decide to come in this lap. Slows down. No, he carries on for another lap. So Adam deciding to go brave on this strategy. Maybe try to get the car round this lap so he can just put 100% in and then do a one stop. So maybe that's what Adam's trying to do, something a bit different. Obviously Vulcan might have to pit again. After stopping a couple of laps earlier, he might have to pit one more time. If Adam can make this last, it should be a decent enough strategy to put him in contention, to put Lewis under pressure. As he carries on, takes that corner nice and tidy for worn tyres. He's doing really well, is Adam at the moment. So Adam does decide to pit now, so he's made that sort of halfway now, so he will just fill up the car now, put some new tyres on. Whether that's softs or super softs, we'll still find out. We know that Lewis has put softs on, so it's just waits for him to get his car filled up. Looks like Inca Holmes is going to come past as well, or is that Brian Ross? Looks like Brian Ross has just come past him now. So Adam leaves the pits, full tank of fuel, brand new racing super soft. So Adam, let's see what you can do. Gets a half a second penalty there. I'm not sure that just cutting the corner there. I'm not sure, but yeah, he comes out about 11 seconds behind. So I don't think Adam will have to stop again. He gets rid of that penalty pretty soon. Go back to Luke, who's in the middle of a fight with Osman as he tries to close in again. Got another yellow flag at the top of the hill. So let's see who that is as Luke comes round. Oh, it's Inca Holmes. Inca Holmes has spun out of third. So Inca Holmes drops down to 4th place now. So this is going to put him in a battle with Luke and Osman. So after running in third all by himself, he finds himself in a battle to get back into third. Looks like he's going to be in a battle with 2 cars now. Oh, as you see, Luke just takes the car straight through there, nearly gets right into the back. He's a bit aggressive now, is Luke, so he's maybe sniffs an opportunity here to get past Inca Holmes while his tyres are a bit overheated. Inca Holmes just still pushing to try and get back onto the back of Osman for that third place that he did occupy for most of this race. Just over halfway now, so he will be pushing to try and get on there. These guys are quite close, and if they do start battling, then Frowney isn't too far behind. Luke just struggled a little bit through that first corner and just lost a bit of time to Inca Holmes. Inca Holmes is about a second off Osman now, but he's more in danger of losing this place now. Oh, Luke's going to dive on the inside. Late dive. Inca Holmes has to go over the curb. Luke just looks like he backs out of it a little bit. Maybe didn't intend to do a manoeuvre there, just avoiding the car in front, but they both carry on the way. Oh, just pulls in the middle of the track there. Looks like, oh, and he nearly gets sideways. Luke nearly follows him. So Luke maybe sniffed an opportunity there and just got a bit eager on the throttle, but he is still closer to Inca Holmes. They are catching Osman as well, the pair of them, so maybe if they can work together and try and get on the back of third place, then they can all battle it out for that last podium spot. Adam hasn't quite been able to catch up yet. See, Vulcan's going to come up onto the back of Brian Ross to lap him in a moment. But there we see Luke really closing on the back of Inca Holmes now. Inca Holmes might get a penalty for running wide there. Frowney in the background does as well. He hasn't got one for the moment. Luke pulls to the inside, needs to get the braking right. Inca Holmes brakes later and actually goes straight off the track. Oh, manages to get on there side by side with Luke. Pulls into the toe. Luke, will he defend the inside? He doesn't. Inca Holmes goes for it on the inside, brakes late. Manages to get the car stopped. Luke looks for the undercut. And he gets it done. Great defensive driving there from Luke. He manages to keep that position. So Luke now occupies 4th place. Inca Holmes from 3rd place drops down into 5th. Frowney actually closes in on the pair of them after the battle they had there. So now Inca Holmes needs to be watching his mirrors. If he's going to try and attack Luke, he needs to do it before Frowney gets too close. Luke runs wide as well as Inca Holmes. A couple of double penalties there. Oh, Inca Holmes nearly runs in the back of him there. Luke does get a penalty for that running wide. Inca Holmes, will he go for it in the first corner? He does. Gets the car stopped, runs a little bit wide, so he might get a penalty for that. But now here's Frowney. So Frowney's managed to get onto the back of him now. So we've got a 3-way battle for 4th place. Who's going to be brave enough to brake late? Luke gets rid of his penalty, so he's not going to go for a manoeuvre. Inca Holmes goes round. Oh, and spins it. Luke know where he could go there. He has to get on the brakes, and there goes Frowney up into 4th place. So 2 cars in 1 corner from Frowney, and he's not that far off getting a podium here either. You can see Real Osman just in front, but he has got Luke to keep him company for now. Both of them carry on. Inca Holmes has dropped back a little bit off them after that spin. So after running in 3rd place for the majority of the start of this race, he now finds himself down in 6th and 7 seconds off these 2 guys. So it hasn't been a great couple of laps for Inca, but looks like Frowney's the man on the move at the moment. Gets a penalty going through that last corner, so he comes across the line on a 15-2. He's starting to push to try and catch Osman now for this 3rd place. Saying I think everyone's had a penalty going through the first and the last corner, so nothing new there. Frowney comes up the hill. He should get rid of some of that in the braking. He does. He gets rid of all of it. Gets the car nice and stopped there. A good exit from the pair of them. Luke actually gains a little bit on the exit there. Now if these two guys both work together, then you can get back on the rear end of Osman and sort of battle it out for a podium. They don't want to be battling too much and lose touch with a possible third place here. Still have 13 laps to go, so whether these guys will be making another pit stop. I know Frowney hasn't brimmed the tank, so he'll definitely have another pit stop to make, as he's got about a quarter of a tank left. So he will have to pit again. But maybe lap 25 he might come in, or a bit after that. Closer to lap 30 I reckon for Frowney, and then he'll just fill it up a little bit towards the end. But still sort of in the 15s, pushing the car through there. Bit of a nice and neat first corner there, but Luke C was a bit more aggressive there, risking a penalty to try and get on the back of Frowney. And he does go side by side as they go up the hill. Frowney's going to keep the inside line. He brakes nice and late there, but Luke C gets it braking right and just goes sweet round the outside. So now Frowney drops back into that 5th place. He'll be the one to attack Luke now. They both do get a little bit closer to Osman as well while they're battling, so Osman will have to be looking in his mirrors because he's got 2 cars approaching him. Luke C already has done a manoeuvre on Osman in this race, so we'll see what happens when the two meet again on track. You can see a lot of marbles off the racing line there, so the guys want to be avoiding that, or else they'll find themselves losing a lot of time. Osman's come into pits anyway. He was one of the first ones to pit actually, so he comes into the pits lap 23, so he pits and Luke C now occupies third, but Frowney's going to have a go. Doesn't have a go in the first corner, he just sort of gets close enough, but he's going to be close enough to get a good toe up the hill. Whether Luke C defends the inside, he does defend the inside. Frowney looking on the outside. Luke C gets the braking a little bit late there, and Frowney gets the cut back, although Luke C just has to out drag him down the hill. Frowney catches up towards the corner. Is he going to make a late move? No, he doesn't go for it. Nice and sensible then from them two. So they carry on the battle nice, and as I say, Lewis has actually come in to get rid of them softs. So that's a pit stop for Lewis there. Adam takes first place. Frowney looks like he's going to make a manoeuvre down his last 2 corners. He does, straight on the inside, second to last corner. Luke's come into pits anyway, so I'm surprised to see Luke pitting already. So Frowney carries on. He might have got himself a free pit stop here, because he didn't fill the car up, so now he's going to have a free pit stop and he will be in front of Luke. Doesn't have to put too much fuel in. We've got 10 laps to go. So Frowney carries on in 3rd place, all on his own now. Race is currently being led by Adam Piper at the moment. Lewis has just done his 2nd pit stop. We'll see Brian Ross actually comes into pits now as well. Closest battle we have on track. Not many at the moment, but when Frowney comes in, actually just noticed on the standings there, Luke C is actually got in front of Real Osman during the pit stop. As you see, Frowney comes into the pits now, so Luke C has managed to overcut Osman, and he now runs in 5th place, and actually quite a bit to Osman. He's 2.5 seconds, so he's going to come round. We'll see where Frowney comes out in relation to these two. Luke gets another penalty through the last corner there. Frowney not quite exiting the pits at the minute. Oh, he's exiting the pits now, so it looks like he's going to be behind the pair of them. but with a couple of laps fresher tyres and a bit more fuel. Inga Holmes, he finds himself back into 3rd place, so his tyres look a bit more worse for wear than the rest of the guys do. So he's due another pit stop. Vulcan's just made his pit stop, so he's back out on the super soft after running the softs in that 2nd stint. Adam Piper comes across the line, very consistent lap times, but just unfortunately a bit off the pace. But looks like he's just looking after the car. He doesn't have to make any more pit stops now, so he knows that Lewis behind him has a 7.4 second gap to make up to him, and he doesn't have to make a pit stop again. So, and he still has 50% of his fuel on board, so Adam Piper could have made a great strategy call here. Carries on. Pushing the car in the Williams. Just looking after it a bit now. He doesn't look like he's pushing the car too hard. He's just sort of keeping the tyres in a comfortable range. If he overheats them, then Lewis will be on the back of him quicker than he needs to be. He's got 8 laps to go, so as long as Lewis doesn't catch him sort of a 1.5 a lap, a second a lap, then he should be alright. Looks like he has a little bit on this last lap, so Adam might have some defending to do as we approach the last couple of laps. Carries on, comes across the line to set a 15.1, so he's a little bit off his best times at the moment, but he won't be too worried about that. He just cares about getting his car till the end. Doesn't want to give Lewis this championship in the first race. Yeah, so Lewis, let's see what sort of times Lewis is doing. Yeah, so Lewis is straight back into the 13, so he is going to be on the back of Adam in a few laps time. Luke C into 3rd place. Looks like he's overtaken Inga Holmes. Inga Holmes, yeah, tyres are looking worse for wear now. He's got enough fuel to get to the end, but I don't think his tyres will last that long. Actually, his last lap was a 26.7, so I don't think he's had a... I think he is struggling, as we see. Lights of rears up there. The tyre indicator on the left hand corner of the screen just went red, so looks like he's struggling a bit for traction coming out of the slow corners. Let's see what he's like coming out of here. Just upshifts to 3rd early to try and kill that. Osman, he comes round in the Ferrari. Tried to get on the back of Inga Holmes. Frowney not too far behind in 6th. Brian Ross, who sort of struggled for them, well, pretty much from the start, is still going in 7th, so he'll still get some good points. Real Osman there. Lewis down to 4.7 seconds is the gap. We just saw Adam go through the bottom of the screen there. So Lewis is pushing now. Adam's still setting consistent lap times. He isn't lighting up the timing screens, but he's doing enough to just stay out there in front. Vulcan comes through. Look, see there, 31 seconds off Vulcan, but he'll be happy to be in 3rd. You see side by side we've got Real Osman and Inga Holmes. The 2 Ferrari teammates going for it here. Inga Holmes on them worse tyres. Osman definitely got the better strategy here, so Inga Holmes just looks like he's let him go. Inga Holmes might have to pit again in this race, and then if he pits now, he'll still come out. Yeah, come up behind Frowney, but at least he'll be able to attack and have a bit of fun for the last few laps rather than struggling around on, yeah, really worn tyres. Our ladies are at the top of the track. So Adam comes round, just see Lewis in the background there. Another 15-1 from Adam. 14-5 from Vulcan, so didn't take as much time as he's normally have. He's actually gone purple there, 51-9, so I think that's the first I've seen of a 51 in that middle sector. So he carries on, takes the car across the curb, gets it, optimises the line through there. Nice and tidy through the last corner. This could be quickest lap of the race. No, just off 13.4. Adam actually sets his best time, but he's gone wide in the first corner. That might cost him a penalty. It does, but he set his, you know, he's back on the pace there with a 14.4. He actually goes quicker in the first sector. So he's got a few laps to try, and he's probably going to have about 2 laps of defending. Maybe more if Lewis can get the car under 2 seconds closer to him on this lap. It's only 2.2 at the moment, so it looks like he is going to do that. The battle for third might heat up. Luke had a little bit of a gap, but Real Osman's got a few penalties to worry about. Inkerholm's just behind him at the moment. Frowney carries on, he's got a penalty as well. Brian Ross just bringing the car around in 7th there. Not too far off. He is in the 15, so he's not doing like really slow pace. He is still sort of on the pace of, you know, the guys like Frowney. So actually Frowney's in a 14.9 that last lap, so he's pulled that out of the bag from somewhere. Quicker than the guys in front of him. Inkerholm's definitely the one struggling on the tyres at the moment. Real Osman the 14.8 on that last lap. Maybe a bit slower on this lap, but we got a yellow flag out. It looks like Brian's gone off as the cars come past him. Yeah, it looks like Brian's had another moment. He lets the cars go, pulls over and lets Frowney go as well. Adam 1.4 second gap, so yeah, it looks like he's going to have a couple of laps of defending to do if he wants to keep this win. The gap between them in the championship, I think, so for first place for a win, yeah, 3 points between first and second on the, so if he scores 3 more points, then yeah, the fight will go into the sprint race, but it be a 23 point lead that 23 point lead, yeah, that Lewis will have. So Lewis will still be in this pretty good hands there. Adam actually does a 14.1, so sort of picking up the pace now. Lewis has sort of dipped into the 13s again, which he has done for the past few laps. Gaps 1.2, so he will start benefiting from the tour now. Got a battle on for 4th and 5th still. Inkerholm tries to get back into touch with his teammate. He has done quite well with these tyres as Inkerholm. You can see there they're a lot worn than what the rest of the guys are having to deal with. Certainly got the fuel to go at the end. Frowney still not being able to get in touch with him yet. Comes across to the 15.1. Inkerholm's 15.6, so Frowney is starting to, still pulling them in a little bit, but one guy that certainly is pulling in is Vulcan. You can see his championship rival right in front of him there. He's only got a second to make up as we approach the end of lap 33. So a 13.9 there. Adam 14.2, so yeah, Adam's doing just enough to stay in front at the moment. Takes the car over that sausage curve a little bit there. Lewis looks like he has had a better run out. Gap now under a second. Adam gets a penalty, so whether he gets rid of that, he gets rid of it now, yep. So Vulcan just coming down the straight behind him, benefiting from the tour now, which he wasn't a couple of laps ago, so that'll put him right on the back of him now. But we're going to be going on the penultimate lap once we've got these few corners done and sorted. So Adam to take this championship into the last race Although in this last race he will need Lewis to DNF, and for him to win the race, it still gives him a bit of hope. See, 3/10 off now. Lewis takes that wide line again to try and optimise the corner. He does, he gains quite a bit on Adam there. Runs it wide. Both come across the line. 13.8 from 14.6. So Adam defending now. Touches wheels, the two of them. Seen this throughout the championship. Vulcan just running out of fuel a little bit. Adam the same. Adam's got less fuel on board. So Adam covering the inside line, doing all he can. Oh, he's gone wide. Keeps his foot in. Vulcan spun it anyway, so Vulcan's actually spun the car. So it looks like Adam's going to keep this victory anyway. Got a little bit lucky by going wide, and then unfortunately Lewis spun the car anyway. And Vulcan's off again. So just struggling with overheated tyres maybe there. Luke C, he's carrying on in third. Real Osman, he'll carry on in fourth. Closely followed by Inga Holmes, and we see Frowny's joined the battle now. But Adam Piper on, yeah, one-stop strategy that was difficult to pull off. He looks like he's done it. Gets the car slowed down for the last turn, so Adam Piper takes victory in the feature race. Keeps the championship alive for the last race, but he will need Lewis to DNF. Lewis comes across the line now, so see the battle for fourth is the closest one we've got so far. Luke C looks like he's going to keep third unless he makes a mistake on this last lap. Inca Holmes on very worn tyres, still following Osman round. Frowny just lost touch with the pair of them for now. So Luke C looks like he's going to get the final podium place, but for fourth place, Inga Holmes just closes on his teammate. No mistakes here. Osman should get fourth place. He does. Oh, unfortunately, it was a bit of a mistake from Inga Holmes, and Friday went off wide. Fourth, fifth, and sixth cross the line together. Seventh place, Brian. So, pretty eventful race there from the two guys at the front on the last couple of laps, but Adam Piper gets the victory and puts himself a bit closer to Lewis, but unless Lewis DNFs in this last race, which I can't see happening, then Adam will needs to win in this last race. So we'll have to see what goes on. It was a good race there from Adam Piper to get that, so well done to him to get that victory on a one stop. So just wondering if we're going to get Moz back. So it doesn't look like we're going to get Moz back for this last race, so unfortunately he's going to be out of the last race. Find out the next race should be around 12 to 15 laps, I reckon. Yeah, maybe 12. Yeah, 12 laps. half 5 sunny. There is an option which is being new to Gran Turismo on this track. They actually added a wet option. I have driven it in well, the last 2 times I've driven it has both been in front wheel drive cars, so more struggled with understeer rather than having to take these cars around which are rear wheel drive, and yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, but you soon come to enjoy it, and you do get used to it. So a rolling start for this next race, and it is reverse grid. So a couple of guys just in the pit lane as we wait to start the race. Yeah, reverse grid is just changing the settings at the moment. So after what has been a great debut season from this championship, started off with some good numbers, and it's just unfortunate that the guys have whittled down, and we've got 7 for this last race. Been some good battles, been some good battles, and a couple of moments where we thought that a few people might not be able to take it. Lewis certainly, a few races stood out where he's just been on point with the pace, and this race he was the quickest guy by a long shot in this race, but just Adam, great strategic call to sort of eke the car out in the first stint and try and get a one-stop in, and just put him in where he's won the race. So just the last sprint race of the season to go now. Just waiting for the race to start. Just approaching 9 o'clock, so probably get the race underway very soon. We have most of the guys are out on track at the moment. Six cars, so we're just waiting for one more driver to enter the track before we get going. Should be starting pretty soon, hopefully. Just a bit of a delay while some people get ready. We have all the guys out on track at the moment, so should be starting pretty soon. So Brian Ross, after a difficult first race, looks like he can get try and save his night. Starts on pole position, rolling start. The only unfortunate thing about that is he's going to lead them all down the main straight and then into first corner, and again there's a long straight after that, so not really in the best positions to sort of start from pole position, but he's going to get us going anyway. Just looks like he's checking out the mirrors a bit there, keeping an eye on the cars behind in case any of them try and attack him into this first corner. Cars get ready now. Actually got a little bit of a wheel spin there. We see looks like Luke C's already making a move on Osman. Gets that done. Brian still leads them away. Frowny being attacked by Inga Holmes down at the top of the hill. Looks like Vulcan's already up into 4th place now, followed by Osman and Luke really closely. Adam's still at the back there. Oh, Vulcan makes contact with Inga Holmes. Oh, Osman's round. Osman with a 360 there, so he's going to be at the back of the pack now. Frowny pushing Brian Ross all the way down at this corner. Inga Holmes gets a break and really late there and runs in the back of Frowny almost. Cars just follow each other. Line astern through these next couple of corners. Inga Holmes nearly puts pressure on Frowny there, actually nearly runs into the back of him. He got such a good run through that corner. Meanwhile, Adam Piper still in 6th place, not able to get onto the back of Vulcan for now. Brian Ross still leading, so he's led a lap now. Not being under too much pressure. See a couple of, oh, Frowny's going to go for the manoeuvre down at the first corner. Brian lets him go. We've got a car going straight on in the background. Looks like that was Luke C. You've got Adam Piper just pulling over there. Vulcan now up into 3rd place. Frowny being attacked by Brian Ross. Brian Ross goes around the outside. Still there on the outside. Good traction out of there, side by side actually, a couple of guys. Frowny looks like he's managed to keep this place. Inga Holmes attacking Vulcan. Vulcan on the inside of Brian Ross and Inga Holmes. Inga Holmes squeezes Lewis to the inside. Good racing there from these guys. Frowny leads the pack still. Vulcan carries on in 3rd place now, putting pressure on Brian Ross. Meanwhile behind we see that Inga Holmes going wide. We've lost Real Osman by the looks of things, so we're down to 6 drivers now. See Inga Holmes going really wide there. So Frowny leads him through the first corner. Brian Ross defending from Lewis. Lewis, champion-elect, carries on. There in 3rd place. He looks like he's going to have Brian Ross on the inside as we go up the hill. So Frowny might come under pressure in this next lap. Vulcan's through on Brian. Brian attacks him still, but Lewis gets that manoeuvre done and sets his sights on getting a double win tonight. So, well, not a double win. Adam Piper got the win the first race, so get his first victory of the night, which will be a good way to cap off the championship. Frowny's still leading, but he's going to come under pressure now from Lewis. 15-2 from Frowney, 14-5 from Vulcan behind. Vulcan gets a penalty. You see Brian Ross is having to defend from Adam now. Frowney pulls the car right on the inside. Vulcan's going to have to go around the long way. He's got a second time penalty, so just sweeps around the outside there. Gets rid of his penalty, burns up the tyres in Frowney's face there. So now Vulcan leads the way. Two teammates in third and fourth. Frowney might go for a manoeuvre here, does he? No, he doesn't. Vulcan goes ghost as he gets rid of his penalty. He has a little wiggle as he comes out of that corner, but he saves it. Currently fastest lap of the race. Frowney gets the car turned in nicely there. So I think Dean will take this. If he can keep this second place, he'll definitely be happy with his night. So Vulcan just drops the fastest lap down to 14.0. Brian looks like he's torn his teammate round for now as they both try and get back onto the back of Dino. Yeah, Adam carries on. Will he try and get past his teammate up the hill? No, he doesn't. Put both of them at risk. Brian just parks it on the apex there, actually slows Adam down. You see Luke going wide in the background there. We are both closing in on Frowney, so if they can both sort of keep working together, they might have a chance of getting a double podium for the team, and that'll be a good way to go out on. So Adam sets the fastest middle sector there as he carries on in the tow of his teammate. Adam goes wide. Looks like he might get another penalty for that as well. But Frowney's definitely within striking distance of Brian Ross, so Brian might be the first Williams to have a go at getting a podium. Oh, he is on the podium for now, but he can better that position to second place if he wants to have a go at Frowney. Frowney actually gets a decent acceleration out of that corner there, so he has pulled a little bit of a gap. Adam Piper's still there behind his teammate, just watching what might unfold between the pair of them. Currently in the constructors, it looks like yeah, it looks like Williams will probably take the constructors, so Adam Piper will at least have one championship under his belt tonight. But I think he's been behind Brian Ross long enough now to sort of say, I need to be passed to have a go. Brian Ross does carry on there, so he has kept the position. Brian gets it nicely turned through the first corner. Adam has a little bit of a wiggle, but it's actually put him right on the back of his teammate. So looks like he's going to push him up the hill. I would probably, if I was Adam, I would probably go for this manoeuvre now. He doesn't, he backs off. They both carry on in third and fourth. So Adam might want to get in front and have a go at Frowney and maybe open up the door for Brian to get through as well. Closed on him a little bit there, so they're both on the back of him now, so if Brian can stay in this range, you might have a chance of overtaking him on this next lap. Frowney does look a little bit quicker through this last section of the track. Brian runs a little bit wide there. See the flashing light on the top shows that they're using the overtake. Brian actually gets a half a second penalty. Backs off there at the wrong point. Inga Holmes comes into pits. 15.4 there from Brian. Adam, his teammate, right on the back of him. Brian takes that first corner very badly actually, cuts the curve a bit. Might want to let his teammate through now. Just starting to hold him up a bit. Meanwhile, Lewis, we see, he's dipped into the 112s, so the first guy hitting the 112s, well, he was probably the only guy that was in the 113s in the first race, so dipping into 112s again, just showing what sort of pace he has. Brian still not able to attack Dino at the moment. 4 laps to go in this race. So that gap is still sort of the same 8/10 it has been for the past few laps now. Adam still just on the back of his teammate, doesn't look like he's attacking him. Better first corner from the pair of them there. Brian gets the brake in right that time. Carries on, see Dino there. Using a bit of overtake there as Brian to try and get onto the back of Dino. Dino backs off a little bit to try and get the penalty he's got rid of, and he has. Gets a better exit out the corner there than Brian, so he pulls a couple of tenths on him there. These 3 guys have been in these same positions for the past 5 laps now, so unless they're waiting for the last couple of laps to make a move, it doesn't look like they're going to be changing. But if I was Adam, I'd be passed by now. Right, Adam might want to be passed by now. Brian's just gone wide, so he stays behind his teammate. He pulls to the inside now, but he backs out of it. Brian gets to that first corner. Adam just gives him a little push. Brian carries on up the hill. Adam has to go up the outside to avoid his teammate with the penalty. Oh, Brian gets it sideways, so Adam has no choice but to try and have a go at him now. He doesn't, he backs off again. Pulls to the inside. Adam again doesn't go for it. Brian gets the position there. 14s from Brian now, so this pressure that Adam, his teammate, is putting on him is getting the best out of him compared to the first race. As we see, Vulcan's actually gone quicker on a 12.8. Meanwhile, just want to see what sort of times Dino's doing in front. So Dino is 14.7, so he's sort of about a tenth quicker than Brian at the moment. Vulcan meanwhile has a 10.5 second gap. Oh, as Brian goes really wide there. Still in front of his teammate, however. Does get a penalty though. 1.5 second penalty in fact. And Adam, his teammate, comes through now, so now Adam is the Williams in front. That might give them a better chance for the team to try and get past. Brian actually goes to the inside, but he ghosts as he gets rid of his penalty. So we'll see if Adam can close up this gap now. We're on lap 11 out of 12. He's still occupying that second place. He has done for the past sort of 8 laps, and he hasn't really been under pressure thus far, but he might come under pressure now as we come on to the final lap of this race and of the season. Looks like Lewis is going to take the championship. He's got a 13 second gap in front, so he's going to take the championship in style. Adam closes right up on the back of Frowney as we go into the last lap. They both get that first corner a bit wrong there, but it looks like Frowney's got the best of it. Frowney is going to be under pressure for this last lap. Adam has got a penalty. He's going to lose that as he sees nose come into view there. He's not too far off. Oh, and Brian Ross is round in the background. So Brian Ross chucks away that 4th place and possibly a 3rd. And he drops down into 5th place. Inca Holmes is still in the pit, so he looks like he's retired. So Luke C cements 3rd place in the championship by the looks of it, with Moz not racing or finishing in the final 2 races of this season. But our championship winner, Vulcan, comes across the line. Lewis, well done on winning the championship. Meanwhile, 2nd place in this race is still up for grabs. Frowney gets the car nice and turned through there, so Frowney will take 2nd place, and Adam just tries to run the car out there, so Adam cements 2nd place and Williams take the constructors. And Brian Ross will be disappointed to spin that on that last lap. But our championship winner, Lewis, being the class of the field all season, really. Being a bit disappointed if he didn't take the championship, but he has done, and he takes the final race victory of the season. So after starting at the back of the grid, which was actually 6th, with Adam, managed to get through straight away, and just pulled away, and to get a 12-second or 13-second gap in this last race, that was good. Only 12 laps, so Vulcan done really well in that race, and obviously winning the championship is a great thing as well, after he's already wrapped up the SBR British Touring Car Championship. So very good to see 2 championships in one season, a couple of different leagues. So I don't know if we'll see these cars again next season, but I'm hoping we do, as we maybe need a few more drivers. So any of you guys who are watching fancy having a go of these cars, then check out SBR Racing, and there's plenty of spaces to get you all filled in. Hopefully different liveries for next season, maybe different years or different cars, but we'll see. But as the lobby's ended there, I think I'm going to end the commentary. So thank you very much for this season, and hopefully look forward to next season. Bye.